What's up, guys? Welcome to week number 19 of Goggins Force Training. I've been making some progress with the hamstring tendinopathy, just with some of the things that I've gotten from my chiropractor John and some of the other treatments that I've been using on it. And we decided to see how I would do with just a heavier free squat. So what we're doing is we back the weight down to 455 this week. The goal is to hit 2 sets of anywhere from 1 to 3 reps with 455. I ended up taking a triple and then a single with relatively few issues. The weight on this day was moving pretty smoothly, not necessarily the fastest that I've squatted before, but I felt like I was keeping pretty good bar path and just a nice smooth movement pattern. So even though things didn't necessarily feel like they're about to pop off my back like they sometimes do, the squats felt like they're at least of decent quality. So this is the first working set here. As you can see, I ended up hitting a pretty easy first rep. Second rep felt pretty good. The third one, I did slow it down just a little bit. What's interesting is right now, or at least on this day, I wasn't getting any necessarily pain or any of that like full seizure leg while I was squatting. I just felt like it was about to happen, if that makes any sense. So kind of slightly there, but still feels significantly better than it has on the other times where my legs will just go into full seizure. I was hitting sets of the prone push-ups or like the back extensions in between these heavier sets, which I do actually think seemed to help quite a bit. But either way, after this rep here, I just felt like it was best to take the single and then kind of shut it down and move on to the back off work. On this set with 405, I did kind of get a little bit loose, and so I think that contributed to some of it. You can see I end up having to slow down on that second rep, and then this third one here also just slowed it down a bit. But I managed to avoid having the full-on leg seizures, so I'm going to take that as a win. I ended up following that with the usual reverse hypers and glute ham raises, as well as some stir the pots, which I've been bringing back into rotation to just kind of work on that core stability as well. On the lighter pause bench day, I'm doing the normal sets with the Duffalo bar. My goal on this day is to now work on improving the speed of my eccentric, since I feel like since I lower the bar so slow, it's probably keeping me from hitting maybe anywhere as high as 20 pounds, just keeping that off of my bench. So as long as I can be consistent and hold a good position at the bottom, I would love to speed up that portion of the lift, because usually after I hit my first rep, even with my heavier work, I start to speed up the eccentric because I found a groove, and then I'm more confident, then I lower the bar faster, then I can press it faster, since I'm not wasting so much energy taking 8 seconds to lower the bar to my chest. So that was the goal on that day. I was pretty successful with it. It's something I'm going to have to try and carry over into my main bench work though, so we'll see how that happens. But that's kind of where my head's at with that. I'm still working with the hook grip on the deadlift. You can see here these reps, I feel like I've finally kind of started getting a hang of how to set up correctly, if that makes any sense. But these all felt really smooth. They weren't too painful at all. I'm also pulling on the stiff bar. So this is a Rogue Fitness Ohio Power Bar. It's the IPF spec bar. We got it into the gym this week here, and I figured again, since I'm pulling lighter, I may as well make it harder on myself, pull with the stiff bar, not use a belt, and let's focus on learning the hook grip. And all of those things went pretty well. I feel like I really nailed the hip height on pretty much all of these pulls. They felt really smooth, and I felt very efficient coming off of the ground, and even up through the lockout. So this is definitely something I'm sticking with. I'm sold after this workout here. So I hit 8 singles, and then on the last 2 decided that I wanted to ramp it up just a little bit, just to kind of see where the hip was at, and then also so I could get an extra heavy hook grip hold on the last one. So after the 8 singles, went 365 for 1, and then hit 405 for the top single, and then held it for what in my mind was a 10 count, but again, pretty much always count fast when you're doing hook grip. So either way, these were good quality reps. I had no symptoms of the hamstring issue at all, and just came out of the session pretty encouraged that I'm at least heading in the right direction as far as recovering that injury. So This is that last hold here. After these, I ended up working just some neutral grip pull downs, and then also some dumbbell rows, which I don't think I've done in probably a year, maybe a little bit less than that, but it's been about a year since I've rowed a dumbbell. So I hit 4 sets of 10 with just the 95s. I didn't feel like building something heavier out of the Olympic handles that I have. So brings us to the bench day. What we're doing is we're taking a slight step backwards on bench this week. And so I'm hitting a 5x5 with 315 here, rather than ramping up to the 395. We're actually going to be doing that next week. So 5.5s at 315. Goal here was to practice that faster eccentric portion like I had worked with on Wednesday, and then nice consistent bar path and maintaining good pressure through the legs rather than softening on the side. So this was a pretty straightforward workout. Hit 4 10s on the dumbbell inclines afterwards, which also felt good. Did those with the 95s because again I don't have bigger than that here in the gym without having to build it on the Olympic handles yet. We will have dumbbells up to 150s probably in the next month or so. So then I'll be able to push those a little bit more. But these all felt really good. Shoulders felt pretty healthy going into it. And I'm pretty confident that I should be able to get at least some doubles and triples with 395 next weekend on the bench workout. So after that, since I was feeling good, I decided to push the weight on the overhead press. Even after doing those 25 reps in on my main bench and 40 reps of incline in, those still moved really well. Ended up going 135, 165, 185, 205, all for 6 reps, and then 225 for 4 reps on the last one. If my abs had not cramped on the 5th rep, I feel like I probably could have gotten another 1 or 2, but that's something that's been happening to me towards the end of my sets with 185 the last few weekends. So either way, haven't done this heavy of overhead work in a little while, usually because I'm taxed from the heavier bench work. So that's about it. Finished with the usual accessory work. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram, and as always, be sure to check out the gym's website at www.savagegym.com.